Every fighter wants to be the best. For me, it starts with what I put in my body. Before I was plant-based, I was strong. But now, I'm on another level. Because strength isn't just power. It's clarity, endurance, discipline. I recover faster, move smoother. This is what peak performance feels like. My body works better.
Yeah.
My mind is locked in.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not just fighting opponents, I'm fighting limits.
Oh, here we go.
To be the best version of me and the best athlete out there. This is the future.
That's a veggie burger. That's a veggie burger.
When he started talking about being fueled by the things that go into his body, I thought that was a segue to talk about his nutritionist, which is his wife's husband. For those who don't know, I thought it was a confession. I'm gonna be honest with you. Upon seeing the entirety of the video, I think I just became an Ian Garry fan.
Whoa.
I think I might even actually unironically refer to him as Ian Machado Garry with full respect. I'm starting to be convinced that he's actually doing like an Andy Kaufman kind of thing. There's no way that somebody would do this to the fullest. Unironically, I think he's an evil genius. I think he's playing the ultimate heel and he's going at home and laughing. He probably goes home and like emotionally abuses his wife, you know, for all we know. Like for all we know, he's like a man's man, you know, he goes, shut your mouth, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Make me a sandwich. And then he probably wears wife pleasers at home, which does, oh gosh, well now I'm, okay, never mind. Or this might actually fuel the fire. See, look, he knows exactly what he's doing. It's hilarious. I don't think anyone could possibly be this, like, it's almost like he was made in a laboratory to be like the ultimate simp. Like, is there any part of you that thinks maybe he's a brilliant genius and he's playing this to the max, just trying to make everyone talk about him and make fun of him? And he's just, it's all an act.
I went with that for a little bit. So I'll give you my whole history of consuming Ian Garry as a UFC fighter. His veggie burger. You know what I'm saying?
What do you have to say now?
By the way, I've had veggie burgers, and I got to be honest with you, if I could live without meat, I would try it. I would give it a go. I love meat, man. I love meat. I love a burger, a steak, whatever. Like chicken, anything. I love it, man. I'm into it. And it would be very tough, and I still eat meat, right? But if there was a world where I didn't have to, I would give it a shot. I wouldn't care, but I wouldn't go around and really push it the way Ian Garry's doing, especially after what he's been doing lately. In the beginning, when he came in, he literally says, "Hey, I'm Timu McGregor." Billy strutting. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over. With that crazy-ass voice. And I hated him. I was like, I can't stand this guy. This is before I even knew he was a cuck. I had no idea. When he rebranded himself as the cuck, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go along for the ride on this one because everyone hates him. Everyone can't stand him. He's this, he's that. He's got his wag wife, blah, blah, blah. So it turned me into, I'm going to root for Ian Garry, right? So I rooted for Ian Garry all the way up into the Shavkat fight. I rooted for him over Prates, rooting for Ian. Ian is, hey, he's just doing this to get a rise out of people. I went with that for a while. The final straw for me was when he was saying women should take over the world and this and that. That's where I was just like, I can't fucking do it anymore, man. Even if this is the shtick, bro, this is crazy. Like, what?
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day, and man, I'm going to get called a liberal again.
Oh.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I think this is fascinating. I don't know what to do with this revelation. So, look, I'm one of those people that saw the interview, and I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? And I'm not sitting there clapping and saying it's beautiful or anything. I get it, but here's what I think is very, very interesting. You have people like Dustin Poirier, and he does what he does at the airport. And everyone's like, of course, initially there's going to be memes. There's still memes. And some people are going to be very, very, very angry with him. But I think the vast majority of people were like, he's imperfect. I'm imperfect. We're imperfect. He had an imperfect moment. What I'm basically trying to say is that they came to support him and said, hey, he's a fighter. He gets hit in the head. Leave him alone. Let him get better. Wish the best for him. Okay? The thing happens with Anthony Smith, and of course, there's the memes. I'm attacking my family. All this kind of stuff. They're coming after him. That's what you do. But then, man, I hope he gets help. This is messed up. I hope the best for him and his family. I hope he gets the help he needs. All that kind of stuff,
I hope he doesn't get help. Yeah. I hope Anthony doesn't. No.
Hopefully we talk about that. Let's come back to that. Okay, for the most part, the majority of people, they're like, man, this guy was gonna, end the life of his wife with this vehicle. Poor guy. I hope he gets better. I mean, we've all been there, right? Poirier, oh man, he was gonna fight this guy, and he's saying all these things to these ladies. Hopefully he gets better. Oh man, Bud Light better not drop him. Oh. But Ian Garry says women should rule the world, and everyone's like, "Boo! Kill him!" I was like, "Wait a minute, kill him! I'm not a fan anymore." And all these guys that were like, "Now I've never used the word Islamophobe in my life, okay? Ever. I'm not that guy." But you get all these people that are that, I guess, like they hate people that even look like they could be from that region of the world to the fullest. They just hate them. And those people were like, man, I got to root for Makhachev now. Like, I got to get, and they would say in the comments that that's who they were. And they would say some things that would let you know they're very anti-Dagestanian or anything like that. But they're like, man, I'm done with Garry after this. Because now I'm not saying I agree with him. I just think it's hilarious that we come to the assistance of all these dudes. This dude's trying to kill his wife. This dude's trying to fight people. He's calling these ladies all these things, derogatory things. People are like, man, give him a break, man. I bet if they caught us doing some things on camera, whatever. But then when Garry says that, people are like, nah, I'm done. That's it. What do you think about that?
Well, for me, it's like a buildup. If it was the first thing that Ian said, I would be like, he's just, he's a little cucky, but it's okay. He's a good fighter. I think he has very high fight IQ. I've been very complimentary of that. And listen, him beating Makhachev is not impossible. Like, I could actually see it. It could play out. It could. Like, he could out-decision him, this and that. He's not going to knock him out because he hasn't knocked someone out since, like, 2013. But anyway, there could be a path to victory for Garry. So as a fighter and all this stuff, I was able to just say, okay, let me defend him in a certain way, see how far I can go with this. But then this interview, it was just like one thing after another. He's just like, what can I say next to piss everyone off? And it's just like, all right, what are we doing here? Now, maybe I had a fight with the missus that day when I first heard it. I don't know. Maybe I was like a misogynist that day. Maybe I woke up misogynist Moss. Possibly, who knows? But I for some reason, when I saw that, and I looked at this fucking guy's face, and to those of you that don't know, this is what we're referring to.
Should look at his wife and know that that's the person I need to listen to. Like, if the world was run by women, we'd all live in a better world. Like, it would all be simpler and easier. That's the fact of the matter, whether you want to agree with it or not, or you think whatever it is, if women ruled the world and we just listen to them and let them take over, it would be an easier world.
And the thing that agitated me the most is these two guys are like, yeah, preach, queen. Like, I was like, what? What the fuck is going on? Like, I just instantly got pissed off because not just of what he said, it's just like everyone just accepted it. Like, if I'm interviewing Garry and he said that, I'm like, whoa. Wait, can you explain this? I would push back a little bit so we can get the other side, so people in the comments can say, okay, I agree with this guy, I agree. These two guys are like, I'm so happy that I'm interviewing Ian Garry that I'm just going to say, yep, Mr. Seth Rogen and the other guy next to him. It just threw me off, man. It just threw me completely off, and I had to literally, if I felt like I was on a sinking ship. It was lit on fire, like Game of Thrones style. The dragon flies by. And I just leap off the ship, swimming to an island full of men where I can hug and say, guys, bro, you with me on this? Like, there's a bunch of women taking over that. There's a woman flying that dragon, burning down the. Maybe it's a little extreme.
As you started playing that clip, yeah, I was already boiling because I knew what was coming. And I don't know how many times I've played that clip and heard that guy go, heel.
Yeah.
Heel. And it's like, dude, you guys, where you're from, you're seeing the results of your line of thinking and your mindsets. You're seeing your homeland being taken over because you're weak people.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Now, listen, I want to say to the ladies, I said this like in previous streams and whatever. Nothing against the women, man. Without the ladies, there'd be us, no boys here. I mean, we got to crawl out of the vag and say, hey, welcome world, we're here. You guys got to push us out there. You got to nurse us. You got to take care of us. Like, behind every strong man's a strong woman. I totally believe in all that stuff, right? But in Ian Garry's case, it's behind every strong woman is a strong man, is not so strong.
Behind every strong woman is, I think, Gary's nutritionist, her ex, yes, something like that. But what I think, I agree with you, and I think it's very important to say this. I'll keep this very brief because that's not what we're talking about today. I don't want, I'm not trying to get all like that, but I think it's our society. I think it's our culture that has, unfortunately, through marketing, through certain types of canvassing and propaganda, that has made the ladies think that their role is an undesirable thing. And it's not. I think one of the best, most beautiful things that a lady could do, because a lot of people look down on homemaking, on raising the children, on that kind of thing. I think that is the most important thing that you could do. Like, if you have the option of that, or saying, man, I'm going to pay someone to watch my kid. I want to go pursue a career. So someone else could raise you. I'll come kiss you goodnight when it's all over. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. So I think that it's just been a whole bunch of propaganda just pumped into our society that makes ladies think that, we should be like men. Why would you want to be like men? A lot of, it's not I don't want to be like Gary and say lots of times men don't even want to be men. I don't want to say that, but it's just like, it's not an undesirable thing to do, to be a nurturer and to do that beautiful God-given role. I think it's just, society and media that's made them think that it's less than. And, people like Gary that just, want a virtue signal and stay in the good graces, what they're doing is enabling something that's not benefiting toward his significant other. It's like he just wants to be married to another dude.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I have no problem with strong women, and also, like, what to piggyback off of what you're saying, when it comes down to it, no matter what we achieve in life, goals that we set and we accomplish, it all means nothing. Like, say if our channel's the biggest channels in the freaking world, and MOS and JESSE show is going to be the greatest thing ever. Hit the like button, you know the deal. But that means jack shit. What actually means the most, and now if you don't have kids or whatever, then you're on a different path and you have other things. But to me, at least, when children are involved and your wife is the person that's out there just basically, let's be honest, I couldn't raise my kids the way my wife does. My wife, the way she does it in a way that I could be a great dad, but I could never fill the shoes of mom. I could never do it. And I totally understand that I could never do that as good as she can do it. And her legacy is going to be basically how those kids move on and grow up and what kind of people they're going to be. And then their legacy is going to be delivered into their kids, right? And it's super important for that. Now, if you're a female and you don't have any kids and you're chasing careers, and that's great. And you could be a strong woman and you can be the biggest, the best. But there's only so far you can go you know, where eventually a guy's got to take over in a certain way, right? Like there's physical attributes that we have that are different than women, and women have feminine attributes that there's things that we just can't, like I can't feed a kid with my breast.
No matter how many times we've tried.
I've tried so many times. But yeah, so it's like this whole thing with Ian Garry, I get it. You love your wife, and even him taking the middle name, right? The Machado. Just so the kid could feel like they're a whole family, right?
I'm sorry, I just got a visual. I was gonna say, I bet you anything. Have you seen Meet the Parents?
I have, yeah, a long time ago, yeah.
I bet you Ian Garry fed the baby with one of those things, like Robert De Niro. I bet you he has one of the chesticles that shoot the milk. I bet he fed the baby like.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. It's like I get the idea of it, and it's a very loving thought, and I've defended it. Would I do it? I would probably not, but I'm not in that situation. I'm not raising someone else's kid. I don't know. Like, and I think it would be hypocritical for me to say, no, I would never do that, right? I would never. I'm not in his shoes. Like, I'm not living with the other lover. You know, if I was, I might do it. I might say, hey, well, listen, I mean, this kid was part of the family. I'm the other dad. The real dad is the nutritionist. And anyway, I don't know how that story works, but whatever happens behind closed doors is good. These guys are literally putting it out on a stage in public. And
they have open doors. That's the thing. You said closed doors, but they're opening those doors. That's the thing.
And they're just regurgitating it out there, and people are just sitting there, and some fans are taking it. And I know people that are still rooting for Garry over Islam. They want to see Garry get the job done. As much as they can't stand Garry, they can't stand Islam more. But like you said before, I have noticed a lot of people have shifted from Garry and now are picking or rooting for Islam, and they can't stand Islam. I don't know. I don't know what's right or wrong, but what I do know is I could never root for Garry ever again.
Okay, so now I don't want to put you on the spot like that. I was going to ask you something along the lines of, would you be able to root for him if he tried to kill his wife with his vehicle? But we don't have to go in that direction. I'm wondering your thoughts, if we could segue into, since we're talking about these broken homes and whatnot, your stance on never, not having any kind of support or empathy for Anthony Smith.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me play this really quick. Okay. And then we will definitely segue, because here is the other side of Ian real quick. And this is Islam Makhachev, who was just interviewed, speaking about Ian.
Yeah, he seems to really respect you and your greatness and everything that you've done, but he also says, he wants to beat you in your own world on the ground, and he's going to bounce your head off the canvas and stop history from happening. What do you make of this?
Bro, I saw his couple interview. Honestly, he looks very bad in this interview. Better for him training more and do less interview, It's look like somebody in the house control him and tell him what to say in the interview, He looked very bad in the interview, honestly.
Okay. That's a real man right there. That's a real man. That's a guy that he rules with an iron fist, and he tells all 4 wives what to do. They don't tell him what to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
What do you have to say now?
That is something that I've been talking about recently. I don't think I've mentioned it on here. There are some people who think that there is something poetic about this matchup, about Makhachev. Now, I don't know if there's any truth to it, but we know that there's at least a stereotype that dudes of the Makhachev persuasion tend to have more than one wife, and that people think it's funny and somewhat poetic that Ian Garry's wife has multiple husbands, and that there's kind of in a sense that maybe they could, instead of on Paramount, maybe they could do a collab with TLC and start a show of my multiple spouses or something like that. It could be kind of like the Ultimate Fighter, where they kind of build up and have different episodes and stuff like that. But it's just weird, because I know that the Morales fight fell through because that Makhachev complained, because it supposedly is haram and he cannot touch a gay man. So he's like, how am I going to fight this dude? So then they gave him Garry, and he's like, brother, how can I fight? This man is also gay. But it's not that simple. It's, oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, that video makes me feel weird stuff. Oh my gosh.
They're doing, Islam is what the...
Man, that jump cut, that's a jump scare. Oh. Dude, it's like my eyeballs take a half a second to go, wait, that's a dude. That's a dude. Because like the eyes don't know until the brain tells them, you know? So it's like, eyes, catch up with me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's so weird. You got Islam, who is one way and one way of thinking and whatever. And they're like, let's give him the biggest cuck on the roster. And on standby, you got a tranny. So it's like, either they're trying to really make Islam way more likable. Maybe this is like a publicity thing. They're trying to make him more of a, you know, a fan favorite, and people really support Islam for taking out the gay agenda. Or it could be the other way. Maybe, you know,
they're trying to make people support Islam by supporting Islam.
Yeah, maybe.
Another thing that some people are saying, and I think this is the way that Ali Abdelaziz tried to pitch it to Makhachev so that he would take these fights. Some people are saying, whether it's Morales, whether it's Garry, that maybe the way to frame it mentally from Makhachev is he has to view it as some sort of conversion therapy. Like maybe he's trying to beat these habits out of these dudes, maybe put them on the right path and make them more I was going to say neurotypical. I don't know if that's the proper verbiage in this situation. More, no, I shouldn't say that word. Never mind.
More
we're too Liana. We're barely getting monetized.
By the way, thank you to those who did the super chats. Super thanks. Thank you so much for that. Before we get into the Anthony Smith thing, I
do want to, yes, yeah. I want to say thank you as well. For those of you that are being generous and donating and super chatting, me and MOS have a 80-20 split. I'm currently getting 20% of the funds, and I just want to say thank you. It's going to help me continue to do things on the Mexican martial arts channel. So
that's true.
Everything adds up.
Lying. He's not lying. I was fighting. I was like, you going to get that much? Well, okay, here he is. There he is. Anthony Smith, Lionheart Smith. I've caught a lot of heat. I got it's almost like I almost ran over my wife. Like that's how much heat I've been catching, being critical of Anthony Smith and like, you don't know what's going on. And Lionheart's a good dude. Meanwhile, from people that had never met him, right? Like people that have never, ever had any interaction with Anthony Lionheart Smith. Yet I would show video on top of video and evidence of Anthony Smith, who has publicly criticized other people for making mistakes. And now here he is at rock bottom, and they say I'm kicking a man when he's down. Now, I would argue and say, I don't know if he is a man. He might be something out of Lord of the Rings. I mean, I don't know what he is, to be honest, so I push back there. But kicking a man when he's down after he just tried to run over his wife and try to kill himself and do all this stuff, and woe is me, I'm depressed. I don't think that's kicking a man when he's down. I don't know. Maybe I'm being insensitive.
So I'm okay. I have to just show my hand here.
Okay.
So have you heard the recent news that the statement from his wife?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if you know this. I made a video. I was probably one of the very first people that made a video when the Anthony Smith news broke. Mm-hmm. And I made a video saying, this was days ago, saying, I believe Anthony Smith, I believe his wife came out and made certain accusations or, alluded to certain charges for the safety of her husband. And I said, because of my past and different things that I have knowledge of, I was aware of certain case law where, in regard to domestic violence incidents, in order to avoid civil liability, because ladies used to end up dead all the time. Cops would show up, and the guy would be like, "Oh, we're good. We were just having," and then the wife's like, "No, I love him. Everything's good." They'd leave. The lady gets killed. Constantly, over and over again. Guy kills the lady, guy beats her to death, paralyzes her, kills the kids, whatever. It would happen all the time. So they finally had to put this case law in place so that whenever there's a domestic violence call, you have to take someone out of there. You got to identify an aggressor, or they just Rochambeau and you just take some. You have to take them, because too many cops were upon their own discretion saying, I think it's good. They calm down, and then someone ends up dead. So I said in my initial video, this wasn't yesterday, it was before the wife spoke up. I think that either she was aware of this law, or one of the cops on site tipped her off and said, do you feel like you're in danger? Do you feel like your kids are in danger? Is he a threat? And got her to say whatever she needed to say to get him out of there, so that he would receive the help that he's not willingly taking. Because the daughter came out, she came out, and they were saying he needs help. He's having mental things. He needs help. And this has been a thing. This isn't a new situation. So I think maybe she's been trying to get him to get help, and he's like, no. I keep telling Marilena the same thing. She keeps saying, you gotta go to the doctor. I said, I'm not gonna go to the doctor. What if they tell me there's something wrong with me? Like, what's the point in doing that? So that's how guys are most of the time. They're like, no. I saw that movie the other day with that dude where the doctor stuck the finger up his butt and he goes, Moon River. I don't know if you ever seen that movie with Chevy Chase. So I could understand the dude where his lady's like, you need to go. He's like, no, I got this under control. No. So maybe she sees the Poirier situation, and she's like, okay, his whole thing became public, blew up. He's getting help, and then this happens, and she's like, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna say I'm scared. I'm gonna get him the help he needs, because he won't do it of his own will. So he gets taken in, and it's very interesting what her statement said. Her statement started off with, there's things I can't say. She's now legally liable. She could get busted for obstruction of justice, for lying to police officers, if she made claims to get him incarcerated for his own safety, because he refuses to go get help. Now she's going to come out and say, oh, I'm a liar. She wasted all their resources, their time, the court's time, prosecutor.
Yeah. See, here's the problem, though. It's 3 felony charges, right? 26 years in prison he's facing, right? You could get someone arrested for just say, hey, little DV, you know? Like,
well, here's the thing. That's up to the DA. So there's a lot of times when, let's say me and somebody have a beef in the Target parking lot, and we're like, yeah, you want to go? I want to go. Let's go. And then we fight. Someone's neck gets broken, and they're in the big physical trouble, and, you know, on the brink of death or whatever. And maybe the guy that got beat up says, I don't want to press charges, whether he's afraid, they threatened him, whatever. The DA could still say, I don't care what you say. This guy's a danger to society. We're pressing charges. You don't press charges if you don't want to. The DA's pressing charges, because what this guy did was, the magnitude was too crazy. Yeah. So now it's them leading the charge. And then you get a prosecutor who just wants to take MMA down and make an example of this dude. He's like a Trent Reinsmith kind of individual. He was probably like boycotting the White House. He's probably protesting the White House event. He's like, oh, Trump likes the UFC. This guy's a UFC fighter. I'm taking him down. So that's where I don't think people are thinking about. It leaves the hands of the victim. If the DA gets involved, they could press whatever they want if they just want to take someone down and make an example.
If it was, their bones. Man, if it wasn't Anthony Smith, I might be receptive to it. I think he's not a good person, to be honest. Like, I think maybe at home he's got 4 kids. Maybe he's good dad here and there. I think the CTE, I think the repetitive shots to the head amplified his situation. I do believe that he's got some pre-existing trauma. I mean, if you look at him, like, between the tattoos and in his line of work and how many fights, and he wouldn't want to let it up. Like, there's some, like, a lot of demons. The fact that he, you know, Bisping let him go. And I mean, this over here where he was just basically like pointing at a fan after he lost and flipping him off. And it's like Fat Boy in the crowd was just saying, bro, I just wanted to tell you suck, man. But Anthony Smith, he's not focused on his fight. He's like, hey, man, thanks for beating me up. Let me just go get Fat Boy in the front row over here. Like, I mean, look at this. Like, he's having a breakdown. Now, I do think look at this guy. I think CTE is definitely the clear culprit that's enhancing all of this stuff. I think he had a complete breakdown. I think a lot of things that he was accused of, and listen, innocent until proven guilty. So of course, I can't wait to see the cop footage. It's gonna be like Christmas, you know, like anytime cop footage, like body cam stuff comes out, I get so excited. Tony Romo was great. John Jones. I mean,
a black man can't drink.
We'd never have that if John Jones didn't do that, right? So I can't wait for the Anthony Smith body cam footage, and I think that will help us really understand the situation a lot better. Listen, I like old joking aside from before. Hopefully, this all gets squashed and he could be with his family because of the kids, right? The kids involved make me hate the guy and feel bad for the guy at the same time. It's a bizarre thing. I feel torn in each direction. There's something about Anthony Smith that always rubbed me the wrong way. Just how righteous he was about other people getting into trouble. He's always the first to hit the microphone and say, if he was locked in a room with me after doing that, I would do some really bad things to him. If Andrew Tate had a knife and we were stuck in a room together, you know what would happen? I would throw up a triangle, squeeze his fucking head right off his body. The knife would fall out of his hand. And then I'd run over in my car and then threaten to kill myself. I mean, it's just like when Conor McGregor was in trouble, Conor McGregor's not a good person. And if I was alone with him after he beat up that guy, I would do bad things to him. He would always hit a podcast every time someone would get in trouble and say things like that. So now he's in trouble. I'm like, I have zero sympathy.
So doesn't that show you because of how much he dislikes the bad guys that he's a good guy? It couldn't be more obvious.
Yeah, maybe he's like a vigilante.
That's what I'm thinking. Dude, he's the toxic Avenger. Can you pull up a photo of Toxie?
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. Hold on.
I've been saying that he looks like the toxic Avenger for years.
He does.
That's Toxie.
Yeah, toxic Avenger, Skeletor. I had this theory that his wife, I put a clip out there saying maybe his wife is crazy and she was so confused. She didn't know if he was black or white. And she got so mad at him that she threatened to walk home. She's like, I don't know what you are. Are you black? Are you white? Are you a cocaine? Like, what's going on? You've been confusing me for this long. We have kids. They have different colors. Like, we're so confused around here. Can you just tell me the fucking truth? Honey, get in the car.
I made a random, just off the beanie remark, I think years ago. And I don't know why I said it. It was during a fight companion, and I just happened to say something. I said, because I just looked at him for a few moments, and I was just stuck. And I said, Anthony Smith is either the blackest looking white man I've ever seen or the whitest looking black man I've ever seen. There was just something I couldn't quite place.
Yeah.
And then confusing. I realized he's literally half. He's half and half.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I didn't know that till this whole thing happened.
So are you saying if he is found innocent, that's the white side of him?
He's going to be on the white side of history.
The judges would be like, okay, let's make this clear. Was it the black you or the white you that got in trouble here? We can figure this out real quick. Yeah.
Maybe it's the black part of him that's getting framed, Bill Cosby style.
Oh, yeah, it could be that. Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Bill Cosby kept telling all those hip hop artists to pull their pants up, and all of a sudden he's in trouble.
It could be that. Yeah, it could be. Well, the good news is we're gonna learn a lot more, especially with what he's being accused of. I didn't know was it domestic terrorism? Like, I had to get educated on that. I'm like, domestic terrorism? What's that? And then I realized it's a fancy term.
I saw a clip of you. I saw a clip of MOS floating around, and it made me laugh because you said something like, domestic terrorism, what do you do, strap a bomb to us? That made me laugh.
It got me confused. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I was like, is he, wait, Al-Qaeda? Is Anthony Smith in Al-Qaeda? Like, I had no idea what the hell that meant.
Well, there's a lot of those now. Those sleeper dudes, those white dudes that come out speaking Arabic out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. But what it reminded me of is like, it's almost beautiful if it wasn't so devastating. It's like him fighting like his inner demons and him being his own worst enemy. Yeah. It's like, how much more domestic could you get? Like, that's the ultimate highest form of domestic violence, when you're being domestic, like your own domestic. It's like you can't be more domestic than yourself than what's going on in here. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I guess in a way, it's beautiful. It's sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, something like this happening, it is weird too with Poirier, his situation. We think that Brendan Fitzgerald's next. He could be next, that guy. He's a little sketch. I'm thinking.
I almost said I probably shouldn't. I almost said I would hope so because I can't stand that dude at the commentary table. But I mean, I hope he finds a more positive way to leave the booth.
I think the one that we really got to look out for is Daniel Cormier. I think he's next. DC. I think he's next.
Man, dude, I can't even imagine the stockpile of, I don't know what you want to call it, proof, evidence, debauchery that, like, imagine if you were DC's wife.
No.
Like I mean, you don't even
imagine I'm just thinking about DC on top of me, humping me like could you fucking
Well, here's the thing. You wouldn't have to worry about that because of Laura Stanko. You wouldn't have to worry about that aspect. You'd leave you alone.
Yeah.
So if you were his wife, I mean, the amount of evidence that you'd stockpile against him, I mean, you wouldn't even have to watch anything other than the weigh-in shows ever. Like when I remember when you showed me the clip of him with the pantyhose around Laura Stanko's neck. That was like, I can't even imagine the YouTube documentary that will come out after his lady just blows her lid and just has had it with him. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's gonna I don't know what's gonna break the wife's back. I don't know if it's gonna be like one last like on Instagram, if it's gonna be an email, a late night text. I don't know, but man, I'm not looking forward to that one boiling over.
Yeah, well, DC's got he's on his second relationship, right? And anytime someone has been through it once before, what is hold on a second. Anytime someone's hold on, give me I'm sorry. All right, okay. Jesse, give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, so listen, everybody. Moss's birthday is coming up. Okay. And we're gonna plan a surprise for him. He's getting very, very, very old. And at some point in the near future, I'm gonna start having to put out a poll or something like that to garner interest for someone that would want to replace him as a co-host. But that's not what we're talking about right now. I don't want to get depressing with this. He is getting up there in age, and I'm starting to think of some ideas of things that we could get for him. I know there's very comfortable walking shoes that are coming out lately. They look like little sailboats at the bottom. Like they're definitely not for flat-footed individuals, or maybe they are for flat-footed individuals. It almost looks like a little banana at the bottom. Have you guys seen these shoes I'm talking about? I think they're called Rokus. They kind of have like a curved bottom. It kind of looks like, I mean, I guess the best way I could explain it, the bottom looks like a banana, like a full-blown banana. I've heard, though, that they're actually terrible for your feet, that people think that it's good and it's healthy so you won't get like plantar fasciitis or whatever it's called, but that long-term it's actually going to mess up your arch. It's going to give you like the reverse arch. Just make your foot go the other way. Oh, shh.
Sorry about
Send
that.
me email. Yeah.
Got a lot of things going off. Our house is like Fort Knox, like with cameras and alarms, and it's like...
Oh, you got those flock cameras?
Dude, it's like, it's crazy what we got going on here. But yeah, I was getting like these weird alerts. Anyway, sorry, what were we talking about?
We were talking about how you have no empathy for Anthony Smith and his family remaining a unit and, you know, being able to share holidays and love together and stuff like that. Or I don't know. I think we kind of maybe transitioned into something else. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it's weird. I get this, and I always tell people, if you don't like someone, just say you don't like their face. I think that's the best way to say it, because a lot of times when we try to make excuses why we don't like people, it always falls flat, or there's an argument to go the other direction. But if you're like, I just don't like their face, okay, fair. And I always tell people in the chat that too. I'm like, okay, you're making these excuses. I don't like Islam. He's boring. He's this, he's that. But meanwhile, he's got all these finishes and this. I'm like, just say you don't like his fucking stupid face, you know? And then I'm like, all right. I can't argue that. Like, that's, you have a preference in face. You don't like that one.
That's a good, I mean, I've had conversations like that as well, where I guess I didn't express it quite that way, you know, pinning it on the face. But I've said things before along the lines of like, you know, haven't you ever met someone, even if it's like in a work situation, a real life situation, you met them somewhere and like you shake hands and there's just something like within you, like some like magnetic or not, that you're just like, I don't like you. Something seems slimy about you. So, and it's, you don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
But it's
intuition.
Yeah. So I get it.
Yeah. It's like, I feel certain people have that ability. My mom's kind of like that, where like you could bring there you go, him too, right? If you bring a girl home, I don't know, like with your family, have you ever brought a girl home where mom was like, I don't know about that one, you know, like they get that vibe, or if you bring
usually try to sneak them in when they were asleep, so I didn't really have that interaction of, you know, getting that.
When the girl was asleep?
No, when the parents were, well, I mean
okay.
Let's talk offline.
That could go so many different ways.
It happens in threes. It's Poirier, Anthony Smith, and then Jesse. I don't want to go out like that. So.
In the chat, this is a perfect time for you guys to put in Roofie in the chat right now. That will be our word of the day. Let's see if you guys got 40 minutes into this beautiful show. By the way, sorry. I know this is a day later, but we are here, back in the mix. So technically, we didn't miss a week. I was ready to mail it in. I was just like, let's just skip the week. We'll pick it up the next one, but we pulled it together here. This looks good.
Yes, I thank you guys for hanging in there with us. We missed a day. I have an ugly, terrible tan, because I refuse to wear sunscreen because, in my opinion, I think it's feminine. I just don't put on sunscreen. I won't do it. Oh yeah.
Are you afraid of like the chemicals and stuff like that? Because they're
not at all. I think it's just feminine. I don't like to use chapstick. I don't shave my legs or my cheeks like Ilya. Okay. I'm super old school with stuff like that. Like I wouldn't get caught rubbing lotion on my skin ever.
So you're saying, so do you go to the beach?
I would live at the beach if I could. I love the beach, but I refuse to put on sunscreen.
So you'll just get fried.
I don't really like I got, okay, if I kind of ease myself into it and I spend like a few days there or whatever and I do it intelligently, I won't get burned, but I got kind of burned here, you know, the other day because I just didn't do it. But for the most part, being a Mexican, I usually don't get burned. I usually could kind of ease myself into it, just get a nice little browning. I
got a question for you, because I noticed in my area there's a lot of Mexican workers that they wear the whole setup, like long sleeves, long pants, the hat in like 115-degree weather. Do you guys run differently? Like when it comes to body temperature? Because if I was standing out there in that, I'd die. But they have all the protection from the sun. I'm assuming they don't like to wear sunscreen either. So that's why they got the long, sleeves and pants. And
so
what's going on?
Okay, there's a couple things going on here. So I'm just gonna tell it like it is.
Okay.
There might be one or two people here that don't like this. I would assume if they're here, they're okay with this.
Okay.
Again, I would say, okay. I know it sounds funny me saying that I'm old school because we're not the same age. So I know it sounds silly of me to say I'm old school.
Yeah.
But I think there's something like just me being who I am and then being Mexican on top of that, because like Mexican culture or whatever. There's a lot of like machismo in like the Mexican community and Mexican culture. And the way I grew up, if you put on sunscreen, you might as well put on some lipstick.
Whoa.
So
really?
It's like, like lotion. I remember when I was in high school, I had a white friend.
What?
And he was it was weird. It was because in my town there wasn't a high school, so I had to go a couple towns over because I was born in a small town. I had to go a couple towns over, and that town actually had some white people. It was crazy.
That's pretty nuts. Yeah.
But he ended up being my best friend. He was a white dude, and one time I saw him putting on lotion, and I thought I was gonna have to go home. Because I told him, I didn't know you were gay. And then he told me, like, that's just a thing that people do. I'd never seen a dude put on lotion. I'd only seen women do that.
What about the spray?
My whole life.
What about the spray? If you just hit yourself with that spray? I feel like, no good, huh?
The only time I ever sprayed it is when on field trips we would go and we sprayed on the girls, you know.
I
but
see.
like for school, but never on myself. So that is one thing. Like that's just something that is part of the culture. I don't think, unless like your mom makes you do it, and your mom's like, sometimes my wife will, like, I'll be sitting there, she'll try to like put some on my nose while I'm doing something. Whatever. And I look all stupid. I look all, but I'm like, no, I fight. I get it off. I don't put it on myself. The other thing is, now me, I'm always dehydrated. I run dehydrated.
Yeah.
I spent like the last 6 days in San Diego, and the whole family was pulling out, chugging water. And I was like, give me another Diet Dr. Pepper. I was just drinking all these like Vasco constrictors and just like getting even more dehydrated. But typically Mexicans are always, and it annoys me, because when I'm at like holidays or family events or any kind of get together, everybody's always freezing. And everybody wants the windows closed and turn off the fan and turn off the AC. Mexicans are always freezing.
Yeah.
But I'm always hot because I'm always dehydrated, and I'm always trying to work out. So even when I'm sitting there, I'm kind of like burning calories and stuff. Cause like when you work out a lot, you'll just be like burning throughout the day. So most of the time Mexicans are cold. They run colder. Every Mexican I know is always freezing. So I think that they're always freezing. Plus they don't want to put on all the stuff. Plus, if you are going to be out there and you're going to be a field worker, it makes the most sense to just wear it, because you're just going to get so burned. You're going to get the melatonin, that skin cancer.
Yeah.
If you spend so much time exposed in the sun, and then also it gets very itchy when you're dealing with stuff like that. I remember the first time I got somebody mad at me. I can't remember who it was. It was one of my relatives got kind of annoyed with me because they thought I was being insensitive, like to my own culture. Because I saw a lady and I started laughing at her. I saw a Mexican lady walking down the street with the umbrella, and I was like, "What's wrong with her? It's July." And then someone told me like, "It was for the sun, stupid." I was like, "Wait a minute, what? It's not raining. It's umbrella." And then I didn't realize like a lot of people do that. So I guess they're just anything to avoid sunscreen.
You know who scared me? My tattoo guy. Like, as soon as I moved to Arizona, of course, I get a tattoo artist that's covered, but he is dealt with like skin cancer bad. Like his sister died young of skin cancer. He's had like so many scares removed from him. It's just like he's a walking cancer magnet. And he's like, bro, he's like, he would look me like dead in the eyes anytime I go get like a tattoo. He's like, if you go outside, fucking wear sunscreen. Like he's like, dude, my sister's dead. Like he's like intense when he talks. He's like, I lost my sister because of this. He's like, bro, I'm telling you right now. He's like, I don't give a shit if it's the chemicals or whatever. I'll tell him, hey, I don't want to be gay. I'm going to try that argument next time I go in there. See what he said. See, I'm like, bro, I don't want to be a gay like you. But my sister died of skin cancer. Stop being such a fag. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see how it works.
He's gonna be like, that's not true, my sister was gay.
Maybe it could be. But you know what it is too, though? It's like, yeah, us white guys, we got like that skin that like I'll walk outside within 5 minutes, I'll be like pink. I'll look like Dana White. So it's just like, I got no choice. I don't have the luxury of avoiding it.
That's why I feel embarrassed right now. This is like, I'm not being a good representation of Mexicans right now. I'm so embarrassed. Like, I don't know what happened. The San Diego, that's different.
Do you oil yourself? Do you oil yourself? Lay there with the reflector?
No, never.
Cook yourself?
And I do look very sweaty right now too.
Yeah.
I thought you asked that because right now I look oily. It's because I have to stop using my AC. My energy bill was over $1,000.
Oh my God.
My wife was livid.
Oh my God, $1,000.
It was over $1,000. And I the lowest we'll put it, or else we're gonna have to file irreconcilable differences. The lowest I put it in this house. Dude, I'm keeping my car warm. I'm keeping my car running. The lowest it could go in this house so that we don't have issues, and it's only at nighttime so I could sleep.
Yeah.
Is 72 degrees.
Wow. Oh my God.
I told you before, I wish I could have it like 52, but I have it like 72 only to sleep. Right now it's off. And I'm just sweating. I'm in a hoodie.
What's the weather outside? It's off?
It's off right now. It's off because it was over $1,000.
Yeah, well, that'll do it.
It's 104 degrees.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, for those of you that don't believe me,
I see it. It's blurred. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. It says, I could see it blurred a little bit. It's there. It's 100 and it looks like 4. Yeah, I saw it.
He saw it. He saw it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So
damn, it's hotter there than here. It's only 101 here. It's like a cool day.
Anyway.
Wow. No. Oh my God. So you go from one extreme to the other.
Oh yeah. So I'm just gonna be like, if we're just out in the elements pretty much throughout the whole day, and then at nighttime turn it on just so I can sleep. Because it's crazy. I can't pay $1,000 a month
yeah,
for energy.
I am the electric Nazi in my house. Like I am. Like if my wife, she can't even go past 77. Like I keep it, and I hate it. But man,
that's okay. That's what my wife does. It's just like if the other day, okay, so I try to keep the temperature at a certain point because I don't want the dogs to get too hot. Because I'm trying to be the nice guy to the dogs, because I don't know how they could survive at like past a certain temperature. So we left, and so I waited till she went outside. Oh no! And I came back because I forgot something. I came back in. I turned the air down for the dogs. I didn't want the dogs to overheat.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no air, she was gonna leave it with no AC on.
So she wasn't gonna do that. She'll do that when like we're home.
Gotcha.
Because we could be aware, tend to their needs. We go outside and but if we weren't gonna be home, and we had people, there's people that would taking care of the dogs and stuff. But I came back in. I just put it down for the dogs, and then when we came back, I made sure to I ran. I was the first one in the house, and I turned it off because I knew the first thing she was gonna do was go look at the temperature. So then I was like, dude, sometimes she'll walk in the house, and if she could hear, she'll go down the hall and look and see if it's on. So like I just have to make sure, dude. I'm walking on eggshells, bro. I'm gonna blow it in a minute. You're gonna see me on the news, dude.
We have the exact opposite going on here. I'm the air Nazi. and it sucks because I don't want to be that guy, but I understand how expensive it is. But it's good. At least one person, you know what I'm saying? At least both of you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like one person is the yin to the yang, because I know it's annoying, but man, it could get crazy.
If I was with somebody like me,
it's gonna be like $2,000.
It wouldn't work. Yeah, I would have to be in the Ian Garry type of situation where we have a third person in the mix. It's all straight.
Take someone else's last name so you can have a cooler house.
That's not a bad trade-off,
right? Maybe that's. You know what? I think we solved the case. Ian Garry just doesn't want to be hot.
He just runs too hot.
He's like, bro, I'll just eat vegan. I'm gonna say all nice things. Can we have the air conditioner at a normal temperature? Fuck. I think we just went full circle here.
I told you I'm a Garry fan.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So we have this over here. This is a pretty big announcement for me, at least. Arizona. Okay. The UFC is doing Noche in Arizona. It is going up against Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn, but there is an official announcement.
We've already announced some of the fights on the card. We have Brandon Moreno here today.
By the way, I understand he's Mexican. What do you think about Brandon Moreno? Are you team Moreno? Do you like him?
Dude, at this point, let's see Moreno versus Michelle Waterson. What are we doing?
My Lego. Yeah. Okay, good. We're on the same page.
Brandon Moreno versus Joseph Morales. Manon Farrow versus Alexa Grasso. David Martinez versus Danny Ige. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Curtis Blades. And the main event will be Yair Rodriguez versus Gene Silva.
Woo! I like that. Gene Silva's become the new UFC Noche main eventer. So Diego Lopez didn't want the smoke, so Gene Silva's going to go in and fight Rodriguez. I'm with it, man. I like this card a lot. What do you think?
So Lopez, I guess I missed that. Lopez actively said no to that?
They've been flirting with this idea, but I think Lopez says he wants to change weight classes, so maybe Rodriguez is going to stay. And that's
right.
Maybe that's what's going on. Man, I wish we had Rodriguez Lopez. I don't give a shit if it's 55, 45, heavyweight. I don't give a shit.
I thought we actually, or I talked about this. I don't remember. Wasn't Lopez teasing a move to lightweight, and then he showed like some kind of screenshot of Oliveira, like he was gonna fight Oliveira.
I did see that.
Now
Yeah.
Oliveira's fighting Sarukian.
Yeah.
Huh.
So the Sarukian Oliveira fight, they say it's locked in, but it's still in jeopardy because it sounds like Sarukian's being a little bit of a pain in the ass, saying he wants a belt involved and this and that. It's kind of funny how Sarukian's trolling everybody. So I don't know if it's completely locked in. They say it is, but I didn't. Did you hear Dana White announce it?
I didn't.
Yeah, I don't. And let me know in the comments if you heard Dana. I don't think it's completely official. I think they both agreed to it, but I don't know if it's completely locked in yet. So we'll see. And if it is locked in, it's not for the BMF, which is weird. I think the UFC, actually, you know what? I think the UFC account did announce it, but they said it's not for the BMF. So it's like,
that doesn't make any sense. So they're trying to make the BMF. So if that's the case, if there's someone that holds a BMF bout and these dudes are fighting in that same weight class in which he won the BMF bout, but it's not for the bout, that seems like they're starting to take that bout way, 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 way more serious, to where it's like, oh, you're not just going to hand it off every time you fight. If you held the bout, it has to actually be a title fight. Like that says a lot about it, I guess.
Yeah, Oliveira killed it. He literally destroyed the BMF belt fighting Max Holloway and laying on him the entire time. I think the UFC is like, okay, we got to rethink this. But it doesn't make sense. I mean, you said, he's the BMF champion. Why would it not be on the line? So Sarukian's like, wait, what's going on here? No belt, nothing. Like, we're not doing anything. And what's up with Gaethje? Like, I understand Gaethje wants to take the year off, right? So is he just going to sit around and kind of say, hey, if something fun comes up, I'm going to fight. If not, I'm retiring? Like, what's going on with what's the deal?
I think he's messing up really bad. I think every day that, man, it's all a matter of legacy versus money. Because if it was legacy, with every day that passes, it gets worse and worse. And it literally starts to look like, as news and potential matchups develop, if and when he retires, it's going to look like that's why. Like he was avoiding some kind of matchup, some kind of circumstance. But if it's about money, then dude, if you have the title, keep fighting as long as you possibly can until the sport retires you, because that's how you'll make the most money. And he does seem like a dude that would be more after the chaos and the money and the let's see what happens to roll the dice than the legacy, which I guess I have to respect, because he wants, it's his job, and you get a job to make money. But I'm looking at I've been looking at this up and down, unless I'm just absolutely missing something. Is Yair Rodriguez, was he removed from the rankings?
Let's see. So Yair Silva. Let's see. That's a good question.
Like, how's he even up at that level?
I feel like he hasn't fought in forever, too.
Yeah, and I don't see him anywhere on the rank, or at least not in the meta ones.
Yeah, media, no. Meta. Oh, he's in meta. He's at number 5 in the meta rankings. And media, he is nowhere to be found.
Number 5?
Yeah, that's weird. Look at this.
Wait, well, hold on. Oh, I was on the wrong one. So meta, he's number 5. Okay, yeah, what? Media, he was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, media is 0. He's like, the media says, no, F this guy. I guess because he's not active. And then meta, Yair's number 5.
So does that mean that Yair's going to go down to...
Yeah, Gene is at 6, according to meta. And
oh my gosh. Okay, I was very confused, because when I switched from media and meta, it moved the divisions around.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand why media doesn't even have Yair. Gene is 6 on both, so he's basically there. So they're right next to each other in the rankings. That is strange, though. Yeah, the media is like, nah, F him. I kind of agree with the media. Like, get him off the rankings if you're not going to fight. When the hell was the last time this dude fought? Right? Yair Rodriguez. Last time he fought was 25 April. So over a year ago. Damn.
Oh, and it was Pitbull. That doesn't say a lot. And it was decision.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he lost. Okay, come on. I think this just makes Silva look really, really good. I think, shoot, man. I think Silva's better than this matchup. I think it's kind of disrespectful to Silva. And I know I've said it nonstop. I think Silva was kicking Lopez's butt until he just got a little sloppy and got caught.
It's like a tune-up fight. I mean, I don't want to say Rodriguez is a tune-up fight, but it does seem like they're saying, hey, Gene Silva, go in there, whoop this guy's ass, and come. I hope he knocks him out, man. I'm not a big Yair Rodriguez guy.
Yeah, and that's a significant name, being Rodriguez and being at UFC Noche, for Silva to get that victory. That's probably what the UFC's doing.
How is he ranked number 5? What the hell? How is that even a thing? He hasn't fought in over a year. He's won 1 out of his last 3, and he's ranked 5. I mean, he what is it? He lost to Volk, which is okay, but the other one was Ortega, right? It's strange.
Yeah, and isn't Meta supposed to be like the super like analytical, most like not just popular public opinion? It's supposed to be more detailed explanation of why they're ranked where they are.
Yeah, it supposedly like goes by numbers and logical thinking rather than emotion or anything like that. But I mean, it seems a little off. It seems like it needs to be tweaked. I wanted to ask you about one more thing. I don't know if you saw, I mean, it's PFL, right? But one of the bigger names in the PFL is Usman Nurmagomedov. That's Khabib's boy, right? His cousin. And he just came off a big win, defeated an undefeated guy, finished him in the first round. Dude, striking looks so good, man, on top of his grappling. Jake Paul, did you catch that? Jake Paul went in there and did a post-fight like with him. Jake Paul. Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Okay, so you've been out of the mix for a little bit, right? So I'll get you up to date real quick. So you heard about the merge with PFL and MVP? Okay.
Yeah.
So Jake Paul shows up in New York. This event's on Long Island, and he's cage side getting booed the entire night. It's actually, you got to watch the clips. It's so fucking funny. He gets in there. He gives the belt to Khabib to put around the waist of Usman. They reveal that it's the last fight of his contract, and this Usman is saying, you know, pay me this and that, and Jake goes, if you win your next fight, I'll give you a car, right? And then they ask him who's next, and Jake grabs the mic and says, Justin Gaethje. So it's basically saying, okay, bro, you're not signing this dude. He's going to the UFC. Like, you have zero interest in signing this guy on a, you know, off a big win, defended the belt a gazillion times, and Team Khabib, I guess you're just going to let this dude go. I want to know what you think, because I'm not sure if you've been plugged in with Usman. But do you think he can make some rumblings? Should he get an instant title shot? Because I got to be honest with you, like Ali Abdelaziz with Usman Nurmagomedov and Gaethje, that might be the fight. He might just slide in and fight for the belt in the UFC. I'd be kind of interested. It's a complete fresh new look, and the matchup's fascinating to me.
Man, I don't want to be a negative Nacho, a dud here, but I'm not even a fan of when fighters jump to a other weight division and get the title shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little too easy, a little too convenient. I feel like it's cheating. I think if like Pereira or Makhachev, if they're in one weight division and they're winning, they're dominating, and then, well, dude, even with, well, maybe that wasn't a good example with Pereira, because he actually left the division after he lost to Adesanya. But I think when a fighter is in a division and then he wants to go to another one, I think he should work his way up. I don't think they should just be given a favorable matchup, or even if it's not a favorable matchup, it's 50-50. You win or lose. And then, wow, now you're one of the GOATs because you're a champ. Mm-hmm. And then you defend it once or twice, and now you want to go to another division. I still can't get past the fact that if not the bigger part of it, at least a good sizable portion of the MMA community would have actually considered Pereira the GOAT if he would have beat Gain, just for going way to the top and fighting this number one contender guy and not working himself through the rankings. Then you have to ask, would he have beaten Waldo? Would he have beaten Volkov? Would he have beaten any of these dudes that might be good wrestlers, that might have better cardio than him, and they aren't intimidated by his aura and his left hook? So for someone to come out of a whole different promotion and just go to the top like that. I know it's exciting. I know I should be championing something like that because maybe it's good for the sport. Maybe I should want to see a super fight like this, but I kind of feel like it takes something away from, because what I don't want is, because I look at people's resumes all the time and I kind of don't know how to feel about it, because people ask me sometimes, who do you actually think is a good fighter? Whose resume do you respect? Because I find myself very often kind of tearing apart people's resumes. And then I got to look at myself and be like, well, they're right. Like whose resume wouldn't I try to tear apart?
Josh
Because
Hogan.
sometimes yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he's flawless. He could do no wrong. But sometimes I look at people's resume who are called GOATs, and it's like, oh man, did nobody take the time to look at this and consider all the context and like who those people beat and how they won? And that was a split decision. Most people don't even think they won that one and all that kind of stuff.
I'll be doing that with Khabib tonight on the MMA Hold. Ironically,
I have been telling oh my gosh.
I didn't want to drop that on you, but yeah.
I have been telling the people in my community that I have every intention. I need to do like I need to do like the modern era's breakdown and give people like, bring them, give them a fresh understanding of what happened during the Khabib Tebow fight, because that comes up too much, and I need to just give a fresh perspective on that fight. But anyway, all I'm saying is
it's hard for them to win you over, right? Like it's hard to like, because you know what it is too, like at most of these fighters, when the career is done, they start falling apart, and then you can really tear apart. Were they really that good? Like, it's the first thing people do on X. When a fighter loses, were they really that good? And then it's like all that, and then it's like this whole narrative, and you kind of start exploring, and you're like, holy shit, maybe they weren't, I think all these fighters, I think every single UFC fighter you can do that with. I don't think there's one that's unblemished. Like, I think all of them.
I completely agree. When a fighter finally loses, then you could pick it apart. It's like they're not as dominant as we thought they were. But the thing with Khabib, peace be upon him, he never lost, so we can't do that with him. So I think that it's a whole different situation because he's never lost. Josh Hogan has never lost, so they are in a class of their own. But I look at people like here's my bottom line with someone like Umar coming across and maybe winning. Maybe he comes across and he chokes out Gaethje. My problem with that is, if there is gonna be a guy who's the guy and everyone's freaking out over how amazing he is and dominant, and he has the strap now, I want him to really have earned it. I want us to know he earned it. We're not being faked out by marketing here or by some kind of aura or by like the hype. He actually got all these killers out before he took out the champion. He didn't just cross over and beat this dude that everyone thought wasn't going to win out the White House in the first place anyway. They didn't even believe in this guy anyway. And maybe people just thought Ilya was a mess because his divorce and all that. Some people think he took a dive, like whatever mental hoops they need to go through to think that Gaethje actually won or deserved it or didn't. I just want to see people earn it. That's all I want. And I just feel like there's going to be a lot unsaid if Umar comes across and gets a title shot. I think that's boring. I think Umar should come over and fight Dariush.
You want Dariush to die.
I want him to climb that ladder.
No, I get it, because Michael Chandler came in and they literally said, okay, now you're fighting Charles. Like, it was like, even though he fought Hooker, right? It was ridiculous. But then next thing you know, he's fighting for a title. He almost won the title, which would have been insane. But yeah, I get it. You come in, you fight a couple of fights, and then you earn your stripes in the UFC, because UFC is technically the best. I think the issue is like with boxing, where you have these guys always crossing over and fighting for belts and this and that. And you have Ryzen now doing it with Ryzen's doing it, with PFL, where they're going to do like a crossover, and they're going to have like whoever wins the belt has belts in both organizations. Like, they're literally stealing from boxing. So it's the boxing formula. It's been done for years. And I think what's happening is, especially with the lightweight division used to be the division. Now it's kind of weird, man. It's like Gaethje wasn't supposed to win. He wins. And it throws everything for a loop, because if you play MMA math down the rankings, it's like, wait, Gaethje really is not supposed to be the champion, considering everyone that he's lost to. How the fuck did he get there? But that's just the state of lightweight, I think. I think lightweight is one of the few divisions where you can bring someone over to kind of spice it up. If Usman gets that belt, here's the problem. He's probably not giving it up anytime soon. If he does get the undisputed lightweight championship, there's a good chance with his age, not even being 30 years of age, he's got an unblemished record. He might actually be able to just sit there and dominate. And I think that might be the fear. You know, a guy comes over and gets that belt instead of earning their stripes. Now he's got to sit there and we got to wait for this guy to lose. You know, maybe it's that.
And I think and that's true. And he could do it in the reverse way. He could come and get the strap and then after that take out everyone that was right below him. And then that would be just the same at the end of the day, even at the beginning of the day. But I think, yes, just like him coming over and doing his thing in lightweight, I think it's kind of disrespectful that nobody is talking about what Michael Chandler is about to do. I think just as dominant as Umar is going to be coming over at lightweight, no one is talking about the destruction that's going to take place when Chandler enters officially the welterweight division. We're going to, for the first time, see him at his full man strength, his full big boy strength.
Wow, that would be fun, watching Michael Chandler get knocked out there too. I'm in.
He's going to pull up his bootstraps. He's going to pick himself back up by his bootstraps.
A black man can't drink.